Yo, what's going down, people? This is Jonah Pitney, bringing it back to you with another podcast along with Kofi O'Henry. I, I don't know what the hell was going on with that, but yeah, this is the Main Event Podcast with Kofi O'Henry again. Yes, this time we do have a special guest coming on, and it is CG Ruthless Sports. He will be our special guest talking about the Chicago Bears going against the San Francisco 49ers. Just going to bring in his introduction again. He's going to be right in right now.
You know, some people out there, when they talk, they fake the funk. You want brutally honest? Well, if you want brutally honest, look no further than CG Ruthless Sports. CG Ruthless Sports. CG Ruthless. If you want your sports talk to be brutally honest, come check out CG. CG Ruthless. If you're not watching CG Ruthless, I don't know what to tell you. Representing the Niner Empire. CG Ruthless.
Hey, how you doing? CG Ruthless Sports in the building. How you feeling today, man?
What's it going, guys? Just here at the Main Event Podcast, man. I'm coming out with your boy Jonah Pitney and KO Talk Sports, man. What's good, everybody?
Oh yeah, man.
You already know what it is.
Oh yeah, man. It's a real interesting matchup going up between the Chicago Bears and the 49ers. Of course, they both going in almost the same direction, but in different directions almost at the same damn time. Of course, the Bears is 3-4. They was 3-2 a couple of weeks ago. And it looked like they was going to be going on the up and up, and then a heartbreaking loss to Green Bay 2 weeks ago. And then, of course, last week they got destroyed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 38-3. And then you got the 49ers on the other hand that started out 2-0. And since then has been with heartbreaking loss after heartbreaking loss. And then they finally folded last week against the Colts, losing 30-18. So, yeah, man, these teams is still trending down. But which team will come out with the victory? CG, who do you believe will win this game, in your opinion?
Well, the matchup seems very identical, very variable matchup between the both teams. Which one's going to capitalize? Which one's going to make the lesser mistakes? It seems to me when I look at the matchup, our defense should be able to match up well against your offense. But when I look at our offense, it's kind of like a stalemate. So it's kind of like hard to choose. You can just flip a coin, which one's better. But this week, I feel a little bit confident than the previous weeks. The previous weeks, I didn't feel as confident, like especially against the Cardinals and the Colts. I just said, we're going to get our butts whipped. But this week, I'm looking at the matchup and I'm saying maybe there's a chance we could beat the Bears this week. Just by looking at the matchup, it seems favorable. You guys don't have a good run defense, so that could be something we can exploit. You guys, we have the same thing, so it can go either way. I see it more of a close game. It's like how you guys see it. You know, it's an evenly fair matchup, but you guys have the home field advantage. We played better on the road than we do at home, so it's anybody's guess.
Okay, Kofi, it's the same question to you. What do you think that the Bears' chances is for this game, basically?
Yeah, it's basically what CG said. It's like 50-50. I think there's a good favorable matchup because we all know 49ers, they have a great front seven on their defense. We got a great front seven. You know, with Khalil Mack going down, you know, we're going to probably take a hit. But other than that, we already know what Kyle Shanahan has done. He pretty much runs like a run zone based like offense, like he runs the ball a lot. And, you know, they have a great 6th round draft pick and their running back. He's been running the ball very well. And our run defense has not been great at all. like we've just been pedestrian, like kind of like middle of the road. So we're going to know that the 49ers, they're going to really expose like our run defense, as opposed to like the quarterback position. I mean, they haven't been playing too great at the quarterback position. Of course, we haven't been playing great at the quarterback position, with the exception of Matt Nagy not developing, Justin Fields with that horrendous last game, with the Buccaneers. I didn't even want to make a video on that because I was so distraught about that. And, but I mean, yeah, like what CG said, it's pretty much a toss up. Of course, the Bears, they're ranked 6th in rushing. Khalil Herbert, he had a career game last week, and I expect him to do the same thing. But, with our passing offense, it's not that great, We're like dead last. And so, I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if we do lose this game because, the whole scheme, like the scheme designs that the Bears run for their quarterback is not good at all. They're trying to make him a pocket passer. They're trying to run a five-man protection. And I swear to God, like I'm so sick and tired of these crow routes, these underneath routes they keep throwing and running to. And most of our wide receivers, they're not getting open. I mean, I don't know, man. I kind of have us losing this game because it's just a mess, man. Like the offense is a mess. I mean, the defense is all right, but the defense can only do so much. And like, we're going through so many injuries on this team. And it's like, I don't know. I don't even see us winning after that game against the Buccaneers. I don't even know if I see us winning this game,
Yeah, it's going to
I
be.
don't even want us to win because I don't like Matt Nagy or Ryan Pace. I want them out, to be honest. I'm just through. I just want to develop Justin Fields at this point.
Yeah, I get it. I understand all the negativities. It is going to be a rough game for the Bears. Every game is going to be a rough game for the Bears because they do give up the most sacks in the NFL. But it's going to be more about scheme. Can they scheme the correct way? Now the 49ers have shown on offense that they can scheme correctly, at least offensively, most of the time. But defensively is where they found a lot of their problems at. CG, what do you think will be the three keys to the game for the 49ers to be able to beat the Bears?
Pretty simple. Just the way we've been establishing the running game. Don't abandon the strength of what got us there in the first place. Like when we run the ball pretty good, we've been able to maintain long drives and all that. So it would be the first key to expose your run defense. Defensively, get into your quarterback. If we can sack them, it would pretty much build momentum. And we got to establish a really good passing game at this point. Like we got to be able to feed up the ball to our superstar receiver, of course. So that would be the aspect of how we could beat Chicago. But I guess we can go on to the next question for KO on this one about his Bears.
Okay. KO, you did speak on some of the stuff that the Bears need to do briefly. Mm-hmm. What is the 4 keys of the game that you think that the Bears do have to basically beat them? What is the 3 keys? Offense.
Well, number one, stop running these 5-man protection for Justin Fields because our offensive line is so weak right now. They need to establish schemes. I mean, I know I said this so many times, but it's like Matt Nagy or Bill Lazor, they need to abandon this whole philosophy of the offense that they've learned of trying to make Justin Fields a pocket passer or any quarterback a pocket passer because this offense does not fit. It's not catered to Justin Fields' strengths. We know that Justin Fields is more of a play action bootleg type of quarterback. Of course you also got to establish the run game at first, but like you got to establish schemes that's going to help your quarterback, like running a max protect, getting extra tight ends involved, so he can have enough time to throw the ball. Like throughout Justin Fields, I mean, for most of his starts, Justin Fields has had an average of 1.5 seconds to throw the ball. 1.5 seconds to throw the ball, and that's unacceptable. Like if no quarterback will be able to have time to throw the ball because once the ball is snapped, you have a defender straight in his face, and he can't do nothing about it. Like they're going to have to design schemes where they're going to have to do some type of max protection, where they're going to have to design a scheme where they're going to have to do like quick slant routes, these quick routes to get the ball to the receiver's hands, or run these bubble screen routes to pretty much to just help your quarterback. Because if we're going to have any chance of beating the San Francisco 49ers, which we already know they have a good front seven, you're going to have to establish these plays to help your quarterback, to design these schemes to help your quarterback win this game. So, I mean,
yeah, that is true. It's a lot of key factors that's going to factor into this game. One of them that helps the 49ers a lot is the simple fact that Deebo Samuels is returning this week. Man, how much do Deebo Samuels basically help the 49ers offense with him being available, CG?
Well, he makes it easy for the offense because that's Jimmy's go-to guy, and he's been the most consistent guy. When he's getting the ball, throwing his direction, he's going to make the plays. He's yards after the catch has been his motto. Even in jet sweep plays, which we've been using them in the past, that's been critical in our offense when we've been able to do that. But since we don't have George Kittle, who's the next guy? Deebo Samuel. So that's the next guy. If we had Kittle, it would have been more of a toss-up between those two. But now that you had to spread the ball to Deebo and very little here and there, but the other guys don't get much of the target. So it's mostly that's the reason why we go to Deebo, because he's very reliable. But I feel like we need to use Ayuk more. But I don't know why. They don't even put him out there.
Wow. Now it's also still no sign of your left tackle, Trent Williams. How big of a blow is it not to have him on the field?
Man, like he's a proven veteran. He's well respected. He's a big time loss in some ways, but we got this rookie he's been doing decent. Like he's a decent tackle. I like what I see out of this kid, Jalen Moore. Like the fact when I looked at his performance, he's only given up 2 pressures. And he held his own against the Colts defense. But when you look at a guy like Trent Williams, he doesn't give up a lot of those pressures or sacks in some ways. So there's a difference. But what I like about the kid Jalen Moore is the game's not too big for him. So even if he's out for this week, I feel confident with Jalen Moore at that spot for right now, just for temporary.
Okay, now, honestly, I feel like the missing ingredient for you guys, and probably what's definitely going to get y'all back in the win column is Trey Lance. Now, he did practice for a second consecutive week. Do you believe that he is the missing ingredient, or you believe that it's a lot more problems going on with the 49ers other than just Trey Lance?
There's just more than just Trey Lance. It just depends on Kyle Shannon, and it depends on the players we give them, because this offensive line, it seems like it's not the issue. I think they need to design more plays, kind of like how you guys should do the same with Justin Fields. I think if we did the same way, I think you build this kid more confidence. But in a lot of ways, I keep hearing this conference from Shannon. He keeps saying, oh, we don't want to rush in the kid. He's not ready yet. We need to stick with Jimmy. And it's like, dude, why you even bother to give up so many draft picks? Like, this guy should be your guy from day one. But we gotta wait. We gotta wait and see. Maybe they just don't want to rush him in. Maybe they want him to make sure he knows this offense on the fly, which he's already familiar with at North Dakota State. What kind of is unique about him is he can scramble, but he can extend plays. He can throw in those deep balls. That's something that Jimmy can't do. And we just seen a little bit of it against the Cardinals. What you see what Jimmy does is he'll throw it to the fullback, Kyle Juszczyk. But what Trey Lance did was throw in a good deep pass to Deebo Samuel, which was right in the money. You know, that's something we've been lacking, and that's something that we can use with Trey Lance that Jimmy can't bring. Is that extended plays, explosive plays is something we've been lacking. Probably since the Kaepernick days. Yeah.
That kind of remind me the same thing of what people say the difference is between Justin Fields and Trubisky. You know, they say that Trubisky couldn't get the ball down the field, which is somewhat true. He did struggle to throw the ball past 15, 20 yards down the field. So I can't see that same aspect with Trey Lance, you know, because there's no other way to try to deny it because we saw it in the Super Bowl when they went against Kansas City, missing an open man wide open. That would
I
have
think that was
definitely
Goodwin, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Goodwin he overthrew, or was it?
No, it was Manuel Sanders.
Sanders, yeah, Emmanuel Sanders. Yep.
So we definitely seen it. So all I can say is it's a matter of time now. Probably if y'all get a little bit more help at the cornerback position, I believe y'all pretty decent at the safety position. But if the cornerbacks improve, then that'll definitely be able to help your safeties back there. Then that also will be able to allow the pass rush a little bit more time to be able to get to the quarterback, and that will definitely make things easier for y'all in the future if that was to happen. But I do believe that this season, just based on the way that it is and the way the simple fact that y'all always have to outscore everybody like crazy and always in the upper 30s, almost damn near every game. Trey Lance is that missing ingredient for y'all. But moving on to still with the injury report, but with Kofi, of course, Khalil Mack is not playing in this game. I don't know if Robert Quinn is playing. I don't know if he passed the.
Yeah, he already passed it. He's going to play this game. Robert Quinn already passed the COVID-19 protocol, along with Elijah Wilkinson.
Okay, so how big of a blow is it for Khalil Mack is for the people that honestly don't know?
All right, so it's a big blow because I mean, we already know, everybody knows that Khalil Mack, he's one of the best pass rushers in the league, in the entire league. He was on pace to get like 15 and a half sacks, 16 sacks, based on the rate that he was going. And just the fact that he was even playing with a broken leg just shows how much of a testament to a player he is. I mean, Khalil Mack, he's a game changer. He's a game wrecker. I mean, if you go back to even like his Oakland Raiders days, Oakland Raiders defense was like top 10 the years that he's been over there. Of course, he was a defensive player of the year. And in 2017, we had a great defense. We were top 10, but like the next year we were like the best defense. He took our team to 12-4. Of course, everybody knows we went 12-4 and we had a great season. And the fact that, with Khalil Mack, he was opening up so many lanes for other defenders. Like he was opening up lanes for Akeem Hicks. At that time, Leonard Floyd, all these other defensive players, he was opening up lanes. He was taking double teams, to help other of his other defensive players. Even that year, right? Even this year, with Robert Quinn, with Sean Desai, he was able to scheme up plays where sometimes he would get like a safety or like a cornerback right behind him, or even like he'll get Khalil Mack or Robert Quinn on the same side, and either one of them would be able to get back to the quarterback. So Khalil Mack, he's a game changer. He could change the game in like an instant. The next man up mentality, we have to go to the next man, even though he's hurt, we're going to take a big blow. At the same time, it's always the next man up mentality. I know Travis Gibson, he's going to be playing for Khalil Mack. He's been playing well so far this season, but he's really going to have to step up, and make a name for himself, if he wants to, kind of be a part of this team, because we already know that Khalil Mack is going to be down and he's going to be out. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a strong possibility that he is going on IR now. Both teams are suffering a lot of injuries on both sides of football. So when it comes down to it, it's going to really come down to which team makes the least mistakes. CG, which team do you believe will make the least mistakes in this game? And how will it turn out? And how will it affect the outcome?
Yeah, well, when you're asking me this question forwardly, the team with the least mistakes to me, I feel like this is a game where we shouldn't be able to make these type of mistakes against you guys, but I feel like this could be the factor between both teams. I think we'll both make mistakes, but I think it's going to come down to the last possession. I think the team with the last possession is going to win the game. I think we're going to evenly have the same amount of turnovers, but I think it's going to come down to the last possession and win by a field goal or something like that.
Okay, I about to say because
like 17 or 14 or something like that.
Something like
yeah.
that. Or either in between there.
Now, it's an interesting thing, too. The last time the Bears played the 49ers on Halloween, do you remember what happened, CG?
That game was like a defensive battle where it was like 9-14, I believe, but it was a low scoring game, but you guys won.
Yeah,
I think it was Robbie Gold.
Robbie Gold, yeah. He was the only one. He was our MVP that day.
He literally beat y'all.
Yeah, that was the day that he kicked the football and the wind blew so hard it blew it all the way to the left. And that was the day that Nathan Vasher became the all-time leader in the longest rushing not rushing, but longest return ever, just for one season. And I think that was 107 yards in the same game.
I think you're referring to the kicker Joe Nedley. That was a long time ago. Yeah, because he missed that. He kicked on the win, and then Nathan Vasher returned it, if I remember correctly. It was like during 2006 or something like that.
No, that was 2005. That was the same
2005,
game.
Okay. It was around that time. Okay, 05, yeah. It was the time where Joe Nedley kicked the – yeah, because when Joe Nedley kicked the field goal, the win, it was short on the distance, and then the guy returned it before halftime. He returned it before halftime. And that was before you guys got Devin Hester, too.
Yeah, the year before you.
Yeah, that was a weird year. That was Cedric Benson rookie year, Cal Orton rookie year.
Okay, this is where I may want to put it into an X factor. Okay, I feel like if you guys capitalize on our secondaries, which they've been known to be penalized, if you guys are able to capitalize that, I think that would be the team that would make the least mistakes. You guys need to exploit Josh Norman more. That would be your best chance because he's been penalized from holding and getting a little too technician a little bit. Yeah. So I think it depends on who makes the least mistakes.
Yeah, if they do put somebody on Josh Norman, it has to be Allen Robinson. It has to be a big receiver. So then it can even out the size. So then it can cause them. Because if it's someone small like Darnell Mooney or
Demir Bird,
or especially Demir Bird, he's definitely going to be able to jump right through them. It won't be that piece of cake, you know. He's played decent coverage. It's just that he had a problem with grabbing people too damn much, you know. So there's honestly, the Bears should stay away from him as much as possible, unless they running like slant routes and then eventually try to hit him with a double move later on in the same quarter. Because if they just try to go directly at him, he's liable to get a pick or two, especially with the simple fact that the offensive line can't block your defensive line. Like, I know for a fact your offensive line is hurt, but they do protect Jimmy G at least a lot better than the Bears been able to protect, whether it was Andy Dalton or Justin Fields. This is the worst offensive line I've seen since 2010.
Since 2011. 2010, 2011.
Yeah, so I guess like for what I heard is when you blink your eye, that's where Myles Garrett got to your quarterback. Damn, must have missed it for 1 second.
Yeah, it was less than a second. That's the time he had.
Yeah, blink of the eye, and then he just got
0.8 seconds or something.
Yeah, that's just a little bit more than blinking your eyes. That's how quickly he got to him. So I don't know.
He was a freaking blur. He was a blur, literally.
I really can't predict exactly how it will go now. I strongly believe that the Bears has a chance to win this game. And I believe that neither defense is going to be able to do what they're supposed to do exactly. Now, I do believe it's going to be sacks on both ends, mainly on the Bears end, because they're going to get sacked. Justin Fields going to get sacked constantly. I'm going to say that right off the bat. There is no way in hell that your team don't get no sacks. If they don't, I'm going to be surprised. Like, honestly, that'll be the biggest surprise I've seen in my goddamn life.
Okay, so if you had to pick a performance for my team, which player on the team you think will get the most sacks on the Niners? If you had to pick your bet on, if you were a betting man, how many sacks would this guy get?
Okay,
Nick Bosa.
All right, I say, is Nick Bosa playing?
Yeah.
Okay, either him or a D tackle is going to get the most sacks.
Marik Armstead or something like that.
Oh, Eric Armstead, yeah.
Eric Armstead, yeah. Eric Armstead. Yeah.
I got a gut feeling that it's Bosa because it seems like he's going against the oldest tackle, Jason Peters. So Jason Peters, I don't know.
Now I will say this: if Jason Peters gets his hands on Nick Bosa ain't finna do shit. Nick Bosa just literally has to just outrun him. If you can outrun Peters, you're gonna get to the quarterback. But if you try to bull rush Peters, or if you try to do an inside rip, he's gonna take you apart because he's still 350 pounds and he still can block and he's still strong as hell. He just ain't got no more lateral.
And he looks like a bear too.
Right. He just no more speed. That's it. So.
Yeah. But did you see how Bosa did against that Eagles tackle, that big old lineman, bro? He tossed him like he was nothing.
Right, ate him alive.
Yeah,
almost,
yeah, that one that got paid by the Eagles, that big contract, he got pushed out.
But he ain't. What's his name? He definitely ain't. Jason Peters. Jason Peters is an All-Pro, Hall of Fame left tackle.
No doubt. I mean, I'm just like saying, like I'm just amazed how he was able to get past that a lot of guy, whatever his name is, from the Eagles, like. Boom! Pushed him out the way and got to.
It's all about his technique. The technique too.
It reminded me of Reggie White the way he tossed him.
Yeah, and his techniques come from his brother and his dad. His dad could have been an NFL player for a while, but injuries killed him. But I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
So, okay, so looking at your matchup, so you're gonna have Robert Quinn. That's gonna be the X factor for you guys. If he can come at Jimmy G, it's going to be anybody's guess. But is it Hicks going to play or no?
Yeah, he's going to play. Hicks is a game time decision.
Okay, so looking at how you guys should be able to beat us, if Hicks is going to match up on one of our centers or guards. So I think for him he's going to match up pretty well because I don't know any of our good line that can block any good. If you're going to have him against Brunskill, I guess it could be a long day for him. But if you put him against somebody like Mack, he should be able to dominate him because Mack ain't playing good, period. Brunskill, he's okay, but I think Akeem Hicks is a big dude and he'll probably toss him out here and there.
He's going to be double and triple team.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's going to open up for Quinn.
Yeah, well, they're going to trip Quinn either with a running back or a tight end. Your organization is not goofy like the Bears organization. They know better that even if it's just one good pass rusher there or two, what to do. Double team the big man and chip the other guy. Again, let the other guys with single blocks try to beat you. That's basically how it is now. Now I'm not going to say Bilal Nichols is incompetent. He's an excellent pass rusher, but he's still a small D tackle. He can still be overpowered. Now, on the other end, because Mack is going to be gone, which I didn't know he was playing this whole time with a broken leg until just now. That just shocked the hell out of me that he was able to do that. It's going to be Gibson on the other end. Now, in limited time, he had success. When he had to go out there and perform all the time, he had no success. So I don't know what to expect out of him. He's more of an X factor more than
Robert Quinn.
The other man, than Robert Quinn, because Robert Quinn, we expect that from him. We expected that last year, just injury slowed him down. The X factor is really going to be Gibson and see how well he's able to get to the quarterback and how well he can stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, we know how Nick Bosa get down. Your X factor really is going to be how well the other defensive end plays.
Oh yeah, we got
other outside linebacker.
Yeah, we got a D Ford, which he does pitch snaps, and then we got this guy from the Rams, Abicom, and then we got actually.
Oh, y'all got Sampson? Okay.
Yeah, and then we activated Jordan Willis off suspension, so he should be good to go. And that might be the X factor right there because this guy. Yeah, but there's this other guy named Jordan Willis. He's yoked, coming off a suspension. I mean, he's wearing number 94, which is better than Solomon Thomas is wearing.
I actually thought I definitely thought he was going to be good for you guys. I thought he was going to be a dog.
He didn't pan out.
He's trash.
That was a bad pick.
Hey, both of us got the bad of the deal.
Right. What defensive scheme do y'all run? 4-3 or 3-4?
I believe it's 4-3, and it's based by the coverage we do. Like, we've been doing a little bit man-to-man coverage, and it's been a 4-3 scheme to where it's similar to what Solid did, but we're switching it to the man-to-man.
Okay. Maybe Solomon Thomas will probably do better in a 3-4 defense. I don't know. Probably do better as a big defensive end. Or is it the simple fact that he just can't? He's not a good pass rusher or a good run stopper. Which is the problem?
I think he's just not. I don't think he really fits in. Like, okay, if you put him at D tackle, he's going to get pushed away. But if you put him at DN, he's very slow. But if you put him at maybe outside linebacker, maybe that's where he might scheme well against the run better. But I don't think he's nothing more than what he was. But yeah, he's the Raiders' problem for now. We got this other guy named Arden Key. Arden Key's like that guy we just picked up from the Raiders, and he's like a guy that was labeled as a bust too, but he's our rotational guy. So I'm pretty sure you'll probably see number 98 come around every now and then. You might see him come around. But then we got this kid. Since Jaquaski Tartt is ruled out, you're going to expect a new safety starting this week by the name of Tolinoa Hufanga.
Oh wow, that's an interesting name.
That sounds complicated.
Right.
Yeah, but he's been trained by the great Troy Polamalu.
Right, I about to say
Hall of
that.
Famer.
Yeah, he got trained by the great.
That damn that sound like Prince Mufutu Mafala. Damn there. Back in the day. You remember him back in the day?
Prince Mufutu Mafala.
Yeah, but that's the update we got. But that's the update we got for Jaquaski Tartt's going to be out for a couple of weeks, so you're going to see a new safety in this that's going to start. And then looking at the cornerbacks, it's still going to be the same guys. I thought there was injuries with Emmanuel Mosley, but I think he'll be good to go. Then you look at the receivers, same issues. They're still going to play.
How's your middle linebackers been doing? Like Fred Warner, how's he been doing?
He's been having an off year. Kind of had some missed tackles here and there. His coverage was a little bit liability, but this other linebacker we just got, Ashair, number 51, he's been balling out. He's been our best player, and he's been making plays, sideline to sideline plays. He's been making some clutch tackles here and there. I feel like this guy we got undrafted, number 51, he's been the most underrated player that's actually stood out. And he's got 44 total tackles just in place of Dre Greenlaw. And they're making a case that he might just stick at the will spot instead of playing back at the Sam. So he might have just solidified his spot at that spot because Dre Greenlaw should be back in a couple weeks.
Okay, I'm about to say. Well, do you think that the reason why Fred Warner is playing so poorly is the simple fact that he's injured and not telling nobody, or the simple fact that they just not reporting it, or he just playing bad?
Hard playing bad. I don't know about the injury. I think it's got to do with his performance and the way he's playing. I think sometimes people say when you get paid that big contract, you're not the same or something like that. Something like that. I don't know. It's starting to show a little bit.
Yeah,
that's kind of like with our free safety, Eddie Jackson.
Right.
Yep. There's stats right there. There's your stat line right there. Alshire, that dude's a beast.
Leads the team in tackles.
I don't know what it is with players and them getting the bag, but it's like every time they get the bag, it's like they're just sagging off. Like I already proved it. I already proved I'm a good player. So I'm just gonna sag off. Like,
yeah, look at Armstead. Look at Armstead. The guy hasn't done nothing ever since Buckner left.
Oh wow. Mr. Watches, he said, so y'all run a 4-2-5 system. I don't even know.
4-2. Okay, 4-2-5 system for us is like we do have a nickel. So a nickel would be like but we do got 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers. Usually 2 linebackers. We have our Sam on third down situations. But most of the time we have 3 cornerbacks, which is our nickel. And then we got the outside corners and our 2 safeties. That's probably what he meant to say. That's probably what he meant by
line, 4D,
and then 2 LBs. 2 LBs, yeah.
Oh, 2 LBs. Okay.
So nickel a big corner?
No. Okay. Let me explain. Who our lineups will be in this defense. Well, Nick Bosa, and then since Javon Kinlaw's on IR, we're gonna have DJ Jones play there, and then Eric Armstead plays in between the interior. D Ford's in pitch counts. So those are the guys that goes in. And then the two linebackers, Fred Warner and Al Shire. Those are the two guys. And then cornerback, you have Corn Williams at the nickel spot. And then you have Emmanuel Mosley and then Josh Norman at cornerback. And then the safeties, which is going to be Jimmy Ward, of course, which I'm not a big fan of, but he's out there. Let's see. Tolino Funga is going to start there. So that pretty much tells you the lineups right there.
Okay. That's pretty decent lineup, because usually when I hear lineups like that, like a 4-2-5 type of thing, I usually see some shit like that in college or typically high school. And usually when it's a nickelback, the nickelback is usually bigger than the typical nickel. It's almost like a safety down.
Yeah, mostly the Sam linebackers are only used on situational downs. Sometimes we don't even, only if it's necessary, but usually the Sam spot's a part-time position for us. So that's why when you get pushed to the will spot, that means you get more playing time. So that can be an interesting factor. But it's kind of like a weird way how we're doing our defense. We play man-to-man. We kind of just go by our system and thinking that, hey, we can have three corners, like two boundaries and then just one nickel. And then you just put in like two safeties out there. And then pretty much just two linebackers. That's it. And then your four defensive linemen are the guys that get to the quarterback. So it's kind of like a mix and coverage with those players.
So your two outside linebackers and then your two linemen in the middle.
Okay, so
two middle linebackers actually, because you have your Mike and Will. Those are your middles, and then the other spots are like your nickel. Your nickel's technically like your outside linebacker, but he's supposed to cover in the outside spot or in between the inside of the slot, because that's the difference.
Okay, yeah. So like the slot, they're covering the slot and like the inside.
Mm-hmm. Because a nickel's always covering a slot receiver.
Right.
But when you look,
exactly.
Those are complete.
You want to keep that slot covered because you don't want them to come out the slot and then catch the ball.
Yeah, that would be for somebody like who would be your slot?
Oh, either Allen Robinson, it could be Marquise Goodwin, one of those guys.
But who would be your slot receiver? And I'll tell you why that would be a matchup for that guy.
Usually it was Allen Robinson.
Okay, so Allen Robinson would be the guy. Okay. Well, I guess Williams would have to match up on him for some reason because you said he's like a slot guy now, right?
Yeah, they moved him more to the slot this year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's going to be tricky. That could be a disadvantage for Williams because Robinson's a big receiver, so I don't know how he's going to match up with that one, but that would be the guy you would have to have in your matchup. And I guess either Mosley would have to go against Moody on that matchup.
Either Mooney or
Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah, or depending on how the matchup works, yeah.
Because they're more of a speed receiver, and they need to take the top off the defense.
Okay, just based on your defensive scheme, it intrigues me when I see it, when I'm picturing it. So do y'all give up a lot of rushing yards? Because based on that scheme, or I'm about to say based on that,
we're ranked number 20 in run defense, which is kind of like in the bottom tier. Okay. But you guys are ranked like 3 times higher than us.
Yeah, 6.
They were like 16 or 17. I'm not mistaken.
In between, I looked at the rankings. I thought it said 23.
What, against the run? Because I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, against the run, it's 23. Bears rushing the ball is 6.
Okay, then there's a difference. That's what I meant. Like your defensive run, your run defense. Our run offense is up there. Oh, Jalen versus Debo. Man. Just for the fact that this guy comes from the 5.59, he's going against Debo, man. You better hide his chain. He ain't gonna have a good day.
I know, right? Because the last 2 weeks, Jalen Johnson been getting torched. Now, of course, it has been against the elite wide receivers. It's been against the elite wide receivers. Now, I don't know what tier to describe Debo Samuels. I would say he's not an elite wide receiver, but he's still a very good wide receiver. They can still have a very good day against Jalen Johnson if he is not able to protect him. How do you believe that matchup gonna go out, CG?
Well, has Jalen ever faced a physical receiver that's a dog out there that gets pushy, or has he faced some other receivers that are not that pushy?
The most pushiest he faced was probably Devontae Adams.
And what was that? How did that fare out?
Like 4 catches for 88 yards.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So
limited.
trajectory. Okay, so I'm doing trajectory. I'm not a genius by any means, but if I had to look at the trajectory of the matchup, I think Debo will come away with 6 catches with 95 yards, maybe a touchdown. Just kind of thinking outside the box. I don't know. Maybe.
That's not hard to believe about Sadie. Now, Jalen Johnson on the other end.
I'll say maybe 70.
Right. I will say
seems like
he has gone against real big and real physical receivers. I don't know if Debo Samuels is about the same size as him because they both around about 6'2" or somewhere around there. So the matchup evens out right there. Now, if Debo Samuel can be able to find a way to get separation from him, then that can come true. But I believe that he's gonna get somewhere around 75 yards, maybe 80.
I'm thinking in between 90 because I think even by the matchup, it's kind of more of a favorable match. But when I look at Debo, he may not be the top elite yet, but I feel like he's in the same conversation as DJ Moore was from the Panthers. Like they both have that same skill set. They're both about the same size. They both are good after the catch. So it's like, when I see the way Debo plays, he kind of reminds me a lot of a younger Anquan Bolden, just the feisty, the physicality. But then I see more of his game. I see a lot of DJ Moore, which is a good comparison to see.
Well, Debo's 6 foot. He's like, he's 6 foot.
He's like a running back. He's got a body of a running back, but plays at the highest level. And he's learned from a lot of good receivers, like some good veterans. But I'm just going by trajectory, so I don't know if that would be considered accurate,
Yeah, Mr. YTC say 4 to 6 catches, 50 to 70 yards. So he's going lower than
that's about it.
Seems reasonable. If Jalen Moore plays, if Jalen Johnson plays up to the level, then we can see that. But if he doesn't play as good as he was, then it can be one of those surprises.
Right. Now that's only if the Bears have Jalen Johnson shadowing him the whole game.
Yeah.
Now, if they don't have him shadowing him the whole game, then that's 6 catches for 95 yards. Definitely goes up because Kendall Vildor is not the best couple corner. Now he can definitely hit, he can tackle, great open field tackle. If he does stay on you, he will knock the ball down. But for the most part, if Debo is matched up with him most of the day, or if they constantly put him on the right side of the field, then he'll definitely have a similar day to that. But if they have Jalen Johnson glued to him, then it might be the other receiver that might have that type of day, and Debo Samuels end up with 4 to 6 catches, somewhere between 50 to 70 yards. That's how it can really turn out.
Man, I'm hoping that it could be Ayuk.
Yeah, I'm about to say, but only how it happens if Jimmy Garoppolo does not make the usual overthrow that he's been doing, right? The usual fumble, or at the worst time, or usual just mess around and throw the interception right to the man.
Sack, fumble, all that. It's like, but this is more like a homecoming for Jimmy now because he's from Chicago, but from Arlington Heights.
Yeah, I'm about to say Arlington Heights. I believe I heard about him back in the day, but not too much. I never heard of him really.
Yeah, he went to the same school as what's his name, Tony Romo, Eastern Illinois.
Yeah, and then I know a guy that I played in the semi-football with. He actually did play at Eastern Illinois with him as a teammate, and he told me that he's a good guy, but he just thinks that he gets injured, I guess, from the NFL level. But he was a defensive lineman also.
I would suggest for him.
Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yeah, no, they put like in Eastern Illinois. I have like a teammate of mine who I played in the semi-football. He was recruited from Fresno to go to Eastern Illinois from a small college. Mm-hmm. So he played his ball over there, and he's only played 3 years with Jimmy Garoppolo. And he told me that that's all they've been doing is winning and haven't lost a single game under him.
Oh wow! Okay.
He praised. He talked good things about him, but he hates the fact that he doesn't play for his favorite team, which is the Rams.
Well, shit, he probably would have succeeded under that system with Sean McVay.
Yeah, but
I think anybody can succeed in his system. Plus, you know how to make sure to recruit the best offensive lineman possible. But as it come down to it, this is going to be almost a stalemate matchup. It always just comes down to coaching paralysis, who calls the right game plan, who sets the game plan at the right time. The main thing that the Bears haven't done that definitely has handicapped them and kept the pass rush at Justin Fields' head is not running misdirection plays, counter plays, screen plays constantly. Especially when they constantly get into your quarterback, why not run that? You know, Matt Nagy's been known for running that his whole career, and now when it finally matters, when we do need him to do it, he's not doing it at all. So it's definitely going to be rough for the Bears, and it's going to be if your team is able to get to the quarterback early. Like I said before, and I'm gonna say it again, y'all gonna be feasting all day, and it's almost gonna be a similar fate to last week, regardless of what the hell Jimmy G do. I can't tell you that much. If they don't play to the best of their ability in terms of pass block.
Well, looking at how you are saying, I think if our scheme can work on our defense, I think we could do something very similar to certain teams did. Like, I feel like maybe we could use Quan Williams to blitz it a little here and there, and he can get to your quarterback, which he's had success before. So I think maybe we can mix up a little bit of the coverage, but mix up the blitz package to where you can put either him or Hufanga, who actually was effective. He was the reason why Kyler Murray kind of turn over the ball on down or something like that on that one matchup. And if we can use them in blitz package, I think that's where Justin Fields can struggle the most, especially with those those dime package plays, and then you got the blitz.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right.
where it usually takes away the rhythm a little bit.
Yeah,
which we can do that.
Now, one of the main things that the Bears, I do know that they should possibly be able to do to y'all, which you already spoke on, is run the football, because the Bears was able to do it against Tampa Bay. They gave up 54 yards rushing per game going into that game before Khalil Herbert ran for over 100 yards. There's at least one thing that the Bears offensive line can do, especially particularly on the left side. Do you believe that your team has a chance to be able to stop it, or do you think that the Bears is going to continue to roll in the run game and run over?
I think it's going to be fairly even between both teams. I think when it comes down to it, I think both our teams are going to run the ball really good. I think both of them might even come away with 100+ yards. It's one of the two. But I think it comes
down to coaching.
Yeah, it comes down to coaching. But I feel like, okay, for my trajectory, I think your running back's going to have over 100 yards for sure. And then looking at my trajectory, Elijah Mitchell will probably break in another 100 yards. And it's probably going to be fairly even between both teams. But like I said, it's going to come down to the last possession, because I think both teams are going to make mistakes. I feel like Justin Fields is going to fumble the ball or throw a pick here and there, and Jimmy's going to cost some little penalty, cost a little careless play and give you guys some picks. I think maybe Jalen Johnson might make a play here and there, or it might be one of your other safeties. I don't know. I just feel like it can be fairly even, so it comes down to last possession. So I feel like this can be one of those ugly slugfest games.
Right, it's going to be a very interesting game, man. You know, it's going to be super interesting. But I'm just hoping that it don't turn out to basically the way it was last week, because last week I had to definitely get myself together before I even hopped on a live stream. You know, I was going nuts just watching that whole debacle. 35-3 at halftime. I was like,
and they scored 21 points in the first quarter. 21 points.
Well, I was like, damn, it's like watching a Madden. It's just like watching somebody get killed in Madden. It was like watching TRL get killed by CEO. I was like,
or you getting killed, or you getting killed by CEO.
Well, I was hoping you wouldn't bring it up. I know he over there laughing.
I'm just playing with you, man.
No, it's all good. But YTC said he expect 4+ turnovers combined.
Seems like it. Seems reasonable, because I think it could come down to both teams with the same amount of turnovers. Maybe you see 2 turnovers separately, and then you might just see one team with the least mistakes at the end of the fourth quarter that could determine the factor.
Yeah. Matter of fact, just bringing it up, Don J just said Cal will try to do something dumb, and Jimmy will cost the game, because Cal really wants to prove everyone his offense is the best in the NFL. Do you think that's true, or
It's his ego. It's just his ego and the way he is. It's like, I feel like that's what can be the factor is if Kyle does something stupid on his play call and then somehow Jimmy screws it up. Hey, Bears can even pull this win for sure, but it wouldn't surprise me if we do beat you guys. I just don't know which team's going to show up. I feel like you guys were a good team those other weeks before you were playing Green Bay. I felt like you guys were a good team. But then when you guys lost to Green Bay and then lost to the Buccaneers, I'm like thinking, which Bears team are we going to play? Which one are we playing? The one that's kind of more hungry. Yeah, it's kind of inconsistent, but I know for sure is which Niners team are you going to get? The shitty Niners for the last 4 weeks, or maybe the one that played good against the Eagles
and the Lions. Yeah,
and the Lions. I don't know. We almost blew that game away.
Yeah, which that was crazy as hell because I was looking at the highlights from the first half. I was like, God damn, 49ers is cooking. I was like, man, they're going to be a playoff team. I go downstairs, cook something, come back upstairs. Y'all up 35 or something. I said, damn, they killing them. I look at the end of the game, 41-33. How the hell? I said, man, they must have put all the backups on the field and did not bother to put the starters.
Okay, I'll go on a limb and say this, man. I don't want to sound harsh, but I really do think Green Bay is the most overrated team. When it comes to the playoffs, I think that's the team with them. That's pretty much the team that might advance further, but they'll get destroyed in the championship.
It's like the referees are always helping them.
And I feel like
Aaron, the last game with the Cardinals got screwed over, especially toward the end zone. I was like, what the hell? And then,
I got
called that back. I'm like, come on now.
I got a feeling that Rodgers is going to leave Green Bay by next year. There's no way in hell he's coming back because it's the front office. Back next year. He doesn't. He's not even happy with the front office and all the situations. And this is just his last time. He's going to up his value and he's going to get whatever he wants to go elsewhere.
He might go to Denver.
I think he might come back because just the simple fact that Green Bay is 7-1 right now. If they win majority of their games and they probably, let's say they go 14-3, he may come back. Especially if they get to the NFC title again, he might come back. Only thing is he might curse their ass out and tell them, get some more defensive players, get rid of King, all the above, and then they might actually do it because he might be like, give me a 1-year deal. No, I don't want a long-term deal. You're getting 1 more year. Do this, do that, and he might even take a pay cut just to make sure other people get signed.
Well, I think it's going to come down to his decision. He's going to say, well, you either get rid of the general manager or I'm not coming back next year.
That's what he said. That's what he said. Mm-hmm.
They might do it. They might just do it. If they do that, they might try to give him a huge contract. But if not, he gone.
No, they're gonna have to invest in Jordan Love, man. What's the purpose? You just draft this kid to be your guy,
right? So why would you come back for another year when they already invested in another quarterback in Jordan Love?
And this guy has some ceiling. He has potential.
Same thing when the Packers had Favre. Why they kept bringing him back when they had Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers didn't start until 2008.
Yep.
And he was drafted in 05.
Third year?
Yeah. Right. I think it's going to be his third year next year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Right, so maybe that's on the same projection. If they was to bring him back, because Aaron Rodgers came in 05. I didn't know who the hell Aaron Rodgers was when he started in 08. I said, when they draft him, I had to go back and look at the tape and be reminded that that's who the hell he is. And then, of course, all these years later, I definitely know who the hell Aaron Rodgers is, kicking Bears ass. So
that was the guy we passed on. I hated the fact we passed on him and went with Alex Smith, but I think it wouldn't have made a difference anyways because I think it would have been the same situation with Alex Smith because we didn't have a good supporting cast. And change of coordinators doesn't really give a quarterbacks their confidence because it confuses them on the play calls. So like every year you're getting a new play, so you're getting a new offense. So I think a lot of my fan base keeps saying, well, what if we would have got Rodgers? And I said, dude, it wouldn't have made no difference. We were like going through some crappy culture time. He would have had his career killed already. Like change of play callers, change of coaching staffs. It's just not good.
Right, I was about to say, because at that time, I believe our best offensive weapon was Kevin Barlow at that time.
Kevin Barlow was just a guy that was all right, but then we got Frank Gore after that.
Right. Yeah, matter of fact, I damn near forgot about Frank Gore. Ain't he still playing?
Yeah, he used to play during the time with the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, he's our leading rusher in all-time history.
Mid-2000s.
Yeah, he played from 2004 to
2011 or 2012 or something.
Right.
2000. No, he played for the Niners from 2005 to 2014, I believe.
14. Oh, okay. He played for a minute.
Yeah, that's a long time. Yeah, man. It's about an hour, so we're not gonna hold you up too long, man. We know that you got some other stuff that you have to take care of. We appreciate the simple fact that you was able to stop in and be a special guest on our show. We do appreciate it, CG.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man. Anybody else who hasn't subscribed to those guys, man, go check out Jonah Pipney and definitely go check out Kale Sports Talk, man. Good people, man. But let's let the best team win. I feel like it can go either way.
I agree.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Definitely
It definitely can, but catch you later, man. See you on one of your streams, man. Make sure to subscribe to CG Ruthless Sports. Once again, the link is in the description. Also, KO Sports Talk link is in the description as well. So, yeah, man, just make sure to tune in to the Main Event Podcast every Friday. We will be on regular time next week around 5:30, between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. But until then, guys, peace out, everyone.
Peace out.
All right, good stuff, man. I'll catch you guys later.
All right.
You know we gon' see together. Man, seats for real. And when I come up